Hey, this is Magic Mike, your wholesaler coach, the people's stripper. I teach people how to wholesale deals automatically. And the topic for discussion of today is how do schools affect your deals? And what that means is the school in the area, it's going to affect your deals, the price. If it's a good school, like if it's a 10 out of 10, a great school, it's going to bring up the value of your home or your apartment complex. So right now we're in this community garden here at the Atlanta Community Food Bank, and the lady here talked about how she had an after-school program to improve the school because she couldn't get the funding, or I believe it was the there were some ways that she couldn't get.
She couldn't get a permit. She bought a distressed apartment complex. It's one power, by the way. The presenter, she bought a distressed apartment complex and she wanted to renovate it. So of course, when you're doing major renovations, you need permits. And when she wanted to move forward with the permits, they denied her because of the school system was so poor. So her thought process was, well, what can I do to help improve the quality of the school so that I can get the permits I need to start the rehab on this apartment complex?
So she basically had after-school programs that were non-profit. But what they did was they increased her profit because they got people to stay in this complex. Also, they got her permits, which is kind of weird. You would think that they would let you move people in and then they would go to the school, but it was a little backwards. So you've got to work with schools in your area. Maybe you could start your own nonprofit organization and help kids and get these after-school programs, because when they're in these programs, they're not doing crime and drugs and all these other things that would be detrimental to your deal or the neighborhood, which would also affect your deal, your house, or the apartment complex that you're in. So she took it on a bigger scale and did it with apartments, and she also kept the rent affordable. That's another thing, because if you increase the rent, nobody's going to stay there. Nobody's going to be able to afford it. It's crazy how many for rent signs I see, and I call and they're like, sorry, $1,000, $1,500. It's just crazy why you would think like every month that goes by, that's $1,500 you don't have. You know, just put it out for $800 a month. That'd be fine. At least you get it rented out, you get money coming in. As a great man once told me, low money is better than no money. That's the great Juan Pablo. So you got him to thank for that. But when I go to these real estate investor meetings and people are looking for flips, they list out 3 particular schools. They always say, and people are going to be mad, but it's Pope, Lassiter, and Walton. Right? It's these 10 out of 10 schools where they got like a professional lacrosse team, you know, and they wear shorts and above the knee and uniforms. Those kind of 10 out of 10 schools, because those people pay a lot for their houses, because they want them in the you know, the big HOA communities. They want that kind of community where they can walk the dog, they get their bike and strap the little baby on the front and go jogging and everything with the Walkman. You know, or
old,
how they
old
used
school,
to. Yeah.
right?
yeah. Back in the day. Yeah, I know I look young, but I've been investing for a while. So, but you got to improve these schools because that's what they look for. So through the whole process, you as a wholesaler are gonna get this property. You're gonna wholesale it to an investor. That investor is going to put work into it. They're gonna fix it up, sell it with a realtor, retail to a homeowner. So that homeowner is the end buyer, right? They're the customer. They're gonna be looking at this school system. They're gonna pick their house based on that school system. And if they're picking their house based on such this epic criteria, you know, they're gonna be willing to pay extra for it, right? So they're paying for this school district. They're also able to afford all this other stuff, so you can charge a lot more. You know, like for a while, before I met my wife, I had to, you know, keep my options open. You know what I mean? Like, so I had to let everybody know. Like, I cut my hair, you know, so I was like a manly man. Then when I got my wife, I grew my hair out. I grew a gut, right? You know, there's no reason to bait the hook anymore. Yeah. You know, there's no reason to bait the hook. I already got the fish in the boat, you know. Cat Williams said, you know, he likes women with perms. That's just something he found out. They always got perms. Probably because he got perms. But he gets special plastic pillows at his house, you know, because that's what the women that he likes has perms. They like those special pillows. So you got to cater. You got to find out what the end of the line is going to be. And in this case, it is a homeowner who buys for the school. So if they buy for that school, find stuff in a good school district, or like the lady here, and what we're soon going to start doing is find a poor school, right? Fish in a pond that nobody's fishing in except for you. So you're a big fish in a little pond, and improve those schools, purchase some properties there, play the long game. Then when that school starts to improve, people will start looking at that area thinking, oh, I need to buy there, right? But you've already bought a couple properties.
For the low.
For the low, and a low money is better than no money. And then you turn that low money into high money.
To mo money.
Into mo money, right? There's another Juan Pablo quote there for you, beating me to it. But you increase the value, and you're already there. You got to be there before everybody else is. So here's the belt line. Everybody's like at the real estate, oh, you got to deal with the belt line. Everybody wants the belt line, belt line, belt line, belt line. You know, where's the belt line gonna be? You know, I don't know why they call it the belt line. Where's the socks? You know, where's the hat line gonna be, right? And it could be wherever you want it to be, as long as you improve that school, you get properties in there, and of course, you know, this is where you get money, or you start flipping deals there, and then some come in and you use that money to keep them, or if you'd like, I could get a business credit for you, and you could purchase some of these properties, improve the schools, get your own after-school programs going, and you could do this in your own community, and you can make the pond wherever you are. It doesn't have to be Vine City, it doesn't have to be the Beltline, it doesn't have to be Atlanta, it could be wherever you are. It could, you know, it might not work in, you know, some podunk areas, but it'll definitely work in city type areas. So that's something that you can do. And if you need help with how to do that kind of thing, I'm here for you, Magic Mike. There's probably a link in the description for you to learn some more information about that. You can also text Magic M, M-A-G-I-C-M, to 44222. I'm Magic Mike. And
so we got a few more minutes, Mike. So
okay.
Just to piggyback what you were speaking of in regard to the school district.
Yeah.
So on one hand, this lady's a huge investor, big money.
Yeah.
200 unit apartment complexes and up, right? Does this all the time.
Right.
So she realized a need based upon the situation where the local municipality did not want to issue her the permit that she needed. So then she saw another market. She said, wow, there may be other apartment complexes in the same situation with poor school districts. And she began to explain the cycle that went on, right? It was like a downward spiral, in other words, where an owner will come and buy, let's say, low-income housing. They would buy it up, and then they would have their rents, let's say, at $500, and then they would progressively increase the rents, like what I do. To the point, they would continue to do these rent increases, and the tenants will say, hey, I can't afford it. This is low-income housing, so I have to find another low-income housing elsewhere. So then that leads to transiency, where students are now being pulled from the school to move wherever the parent needs to move. So what happens to that school district? They have a lot of turnover, and what happens to your property? It has a lot of turnover as well. As a result, the downward spiral occurs.
Cutting your own legs off.
Yeah, you're cutting your own legs off. So she decided, you know what? How about we make this a non-profit? Where I'll still buy for profit the apartment complex, but non-profit wise, we'll pour money into these school systems, and we'll develop after-school programs. We'll give these students the wellness that they need, whether it's hygiene products or whether it's medical care. And plus, we'll also have a garden, right? Like you guys are seeing here at the Atlanta Food Bank. And we'll also have a garden as well to give the families at their multifamily apartment complex a hobby, and it helps them beautify the apartment complex. So if you're beautifying the place that you live and you see someone acting up, you're going to say something about it. You're going to do something about it. So that was her main thing. It's just that being a real estate investor, whether it's a single family house or whether it's a apartment complex, you have a huge impact on the community and the school system. So you want to make sure that you're doing it not just for your profit, but to help your fellow man as well. So Mike, I know you were talking about, we saw a property yesterday, a wholesale property, right?
Yeah,
That could be potentially be wholesale. Tell us about why that deal was great and to correlate that with the school system.
So that deal was great because Juan sent it to me. It was Juan's deal that came in, and
we still got to call it too.
Oh yeah. We gotta submit the
Follow
offer.
up. Yeah.
So he sent out some postcards like a year ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, and the lady just now kept his card this whole time. Called us up, and we were the first ones there because late at night I found out. I was like, oh, this is in Walton. And Juan was like, okay. I was like, no, this is in like Walton. Like this is a 10 out of 10 school.
Right.
This is Yuppieville. This is like, we need to show up. And so he set the appointment for like 8:30, and luckily we were the first ones there. But there are a couple other investors, so she says, that we're coming later that day. So we're gonna submit an offer and hopefully get that one. And she did say like the magic words, like, oh, I don't want to deal with a realtor.
I own it free and clear.
Free and clear.
Perfect shape.
Yeah.
You're perfect shape.
And they were moving boxes like they were moving out, and so they couldn't live there anymore. So it was a vacant house, and we actually, it hasn't showed up on the vacant list yet. So it's not like in the system as a vacant. So we got to it before it actually pops up on any lists, which is real epic.
But what struck a chord in Mike was that school district.
Right, yeah, 10 out of 10. So people come to these real estate investor deals, deal maker, haves and wants, and they come and they say, this is what I'm looking for, Pope, Lassiter, or Walton. Those are the three schools I want. If it's in that school district, I don't care, as long as the purchase price is good and it's a deal.
Yeah.
Something like this doesn't come along, once, maybe twice every 5 years.
Yes,
kind of deal.
And that ties into the importance of networking, because if I didn't network, I was hosted on a radio show about a month ago, and I met this young lady who's a part of this nonprofit program, and she invited me over to their breakfast. So of course brought the team along, so we got some good breakfast, of course, but also got some good information. And being at this networking event, it really made me reconsider my business model, because I am currently that investor who buys a property with intentions to increase the rents and caring less about transiency, caring less about tenants moving out of my place, because I will quickly get that unit filled with a higher paying tenant.
Now, are these apartment deals you have, are they in like the A area, or are they in like
No,
the B and C?
all C. So similar to what she was saying, more so low income. Section 8 is great, but I never consider the repercussions of the community. So instead of just focusing on just increasing the rents, but what about pouring back in the community? And one thing she struck a chord within me was about using 10% of the proceeds, the profits, to pour back into the local community. So that way you're not only beautifying the area by buying distressed assets, fixing it up, and putting tenants in there, you're increasing the tax rate possibly, but you're also beautifying the neighborhood. You're giving back to the people in that community who definitely need the money. All right, so we have 1 minute left. So
now,
if those people are interested in coaching, what information do you provide on wholesaling?
I provide one-on-one as well as group coaching. Also, the one-on-one is probably going to be better. I would say go with that, and we give you all the forms, everything you need to know. You get like a couple click access directly to us. You can tag us in on something, deal analysis right away. There's no waiting a couple days or hope that your mentor is going to pick up. We're like right there with you. We give you homework, hold you accountable, and show you the step-by-step process that we use in our own business.
All right, perfect. So 100percentfinance.com, guys, and Mike will be your coach to make sure that you wholesale automatically.
and I want to, before we get out, maybe like something little I want to show you. If you have a school in Atlanta, maybe in another state, and they're not teaching entrepreneurship, I want to know. Let me know. Maybe I can't make it, maybe Juan or somebody else can make it, but I want to start teaching entrepreneurship in school. The stuff they don't teach you in schools. So if you're in Atlanta, around Atlanta, and there's a school you want Magic Mike to teach entrepreneurship at, let me know.
Thanks for watching the video. We appreciate your viewership. By the way, guys, make sure you subscribe to 100%finance.com. We have a plethora of tools that can help you succeed financially. We have a report on credit repair, 3 tips on how you can improve your FICO score. We also have a business credit ebook. We have a ton of real estate related documents, from deal analyzers to a mortgage calculator, a whole bunch of resources. You just have to subscribe. And one last thing, don't want to forget, we are offering free live webinars to answer your questions. This is only made available to our website subscribers. So you have to subscribe to 100%finance.com to receive the details as to the date, the time, and the call-in information for the webinars to answer your credit repair, business credit, or business funding needs, as well as your real estate related questions. Thank you guys again for watching, and subscribe.